Hi everyone, and I'm excited to be here to show you a connection live between Google BigQuery and Tableau Online right here on the web. We're in Tableau Online right now, and we're looking at several dashboards that are connected live to Google BigQuery. Let's click into one. What we have here is a set of data from Twitter that we've been collecting with a number of different hashtags, including big data and other hashtags. It's collected by GNIP, Twitter's analytics engine. And we did select on a big data set, and we've got all this data right here in the dashboard that we can look at live with Tableau Online and BigQuery. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and filter down to the last, actually let's go down to the last day or so of data. So now we're looking at the last day of data in this data set, and we've been looking for tweets with text IoT, but I'm more interested in tweets with text Google. And so now what we've got is we've got a dashboard about when people have been tweeting in this data set, which is all the tweets, as well as about Google, which are the yellow tweets. We've got several views here. This one tells us that Google has been tweeted about 5% of the data set here about big data, and we can see a scatter plot of all the tweets and all the users who are using this term. Now I'm going to just click in to the ones that are using Google. And now you can see all of these tweets that have been posted in the last day or so. We can hover over one and look at what the tweet was. In this case, they're saying Google BigQuery teams with industry leaders. See how many friends and followers this person had, and follow all of the tweets and the social media about the Google events that are happening over the next couple of weeks. So what we're working against here is a live BigQuery data set. And let me show you a little bit more about that. If we click into Tableau Online again and look at the data sources, you can see that I've actually been working against this data source called tweets from GNIP, and it's a live data source. And if I want to take another closer look at it, I can see that the credentials for this data set were actually embedded right into the data source. Now I could edit that and ask users to put their own credentials in, but in this case we're going to go ahead and keep the embedded credentials. So working with Tableau Online, you can actually publish BigQuery as a live data source, or you can publish workbooks. And once you've got the data source published, you can even go in and create a new workbook. So let's do that against this Twitter data set. And now you see a drag and drop environment that Tableau has that lets you explore the data. On the left, you see all the different fields in this data set about Twitter data. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at the hashtags in this data set. I'm going to drag that out to rows. And Tableau is doing a live query against Google BigQuery to try and look at all the hashtags that are in this data set. Now I want to see how many tweets there are for each of these, so I'm going to take number of records. And in this data set, every record is a tweet. I'm going to drag that to columns. Now I can sort down and see what the biggest hashtag was, and big data is the biggest hashtag. It is the one that we were pulling on. I can do a couple of fun things like change the color here, and I can add things like the actor display name to the view. And what this lets me do is it lets me break down each one of these bars into the different Twitterers, the different people tweeting about the hashtag. So I can click in and I can see that NoSQL, the hashtag, the account NoSQL, tweets a lot of times with the hashtag big data. That makes sense to me. I can tooltip over another area and I can see that there's somebody else tweeting a lot about big data with the display name e.g. Bert Van Weekly and IR Gang. So these are some accounts you may even follow. And we can also see related hashtags here. We've got cloud and healthcare and a few other things as well. Now, one of the nice things you can do here is you can go ahead and filter based on when these tweets happen. So I'm going to go ahead and put posted time into a filter here. And I'm going to filter, again, live right in the browser against a live data set of BigQuery tweets. I'm going to filter to the last few days, the last 2 days in fact, 6/8 to 6/10, and today happens to be 6/10. And now you can see again the graph has changed. We've got less data in there, and we're looking only at the tweets in the last couple of days. Now with Tableau, you can do a lot of different things with your data. One of the things that you often find in data is location information, geographic information. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on location country here. You see a little globe by it, and what that is telling me is that Tableau has identified country as a geographic field. And when I click on it, I can see the location of all the places where I have tweets. Now I'm going to go back to number of records, and I'm going to go ahead and double click on that to add it to the view. And I'm going to go ahead and crank up the size here. And you can see that the United States has been the place where I've had the most records. But I want to show you another neat thing you can do. When you're working with data, you often want to change perspective. And Tableau's Show Me tool lets you do that simply by clicking in and choosing another visualization that might be appropriate. We also have a handy back button, so if you want to undo something, you can do that. You can actually undo or redo as many steps as you'd like. But I happen to like this view right now, so I'm going to go ahead and save this as a new workbook. And I'm going to call this Tweets on Big Data in this same project and embed the password. Tableau Online is a fully secure analytics product, so you can make sure that you're enforcing the security that you have on your data. And now when I go back into Tableau Online, you can see that I've got that new workbook here, Tweets on Big Data, that was updated just a few minutes ago. That's just a taste of what you can do with Tableau Online and Google BigQuery when you establish a live cloud-to-cloud connection between this powerful data source and an analytics product in the cloud.